Welcome back to another segment here on GEMS podcast. For those of you that are new to the community, thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you that are seasoned listeners, welcome back. Today I will be chatting with AJ Aluthwala, and he is going to be talking about online marketing. We're going to get into some SEO content and etc., just so you can level up in your game. But first, here's more about AJ Aluthwala. AJ is a specialist in discovering, planning, and executing customized online marketing strategies for businesses to attract massive amounts of online traffic. He has worked with over 200 companies around the country and with businesses in places like Dubai. Given the massive success at KallistoArt, AJ launched ElleApps in 2021, a mobile app development company, and is currently serving clients from coast to coast. As a result of AJ's deep reach within the local business community, KallistoArt became the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce 2020 Small Business of the Year Award recipient. AJ gives back to the community through nonprofits, Project Pop Drop, Upper Tampa Bay Education Foundation, and Oldsmar Cares. AJ has lived and worked in Asia, Europe, and North America, and has visited over 15 countries around the world. AJ and his family moved to sunny Florida in 2014. They really like it here and consider Tampa home. So without further ado, please welcome AJ Aluthwala. And AJ, did I say your last name correct again?
Yeah, you did. You did. Thank you so much, Genesis, for having me. It's such a pleasure to be speaking with you today.
My pleasure, AJ. And before we jump into the main part of the segment, which is your niche, online marketing and SEO, I definitely want to do the connection part of the segment where I am getting you connected with the audience so they get to learn more about you in a fun and personal way. So there are two options for you to choose from. We can do either an icebreaker or a rapid fire 10 question game. What are you in the mood for?
Rapid fire 10 question game.
So here we go. We're playing rapid fire with Genesis and AJ. Do 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 do. Question number one. AJ, does your name mean something else, or have you shortened it because it's easier to pronounce?
You are absolutely right in that assumption. I have shortened my name. My real name is Anjana, and that's Sri Lankan. And it actually means mascara, believe it or not. That's the meaning of the name, mascara.
So let me see if I can say it. Anjana.
Yeah, you got it.
Amazing. Question number two, since you are Sri Lankan, I love learning new languages. So can you tell me how to say good morning in your native tongue if you speak another language?
Yeah, we actually say we say good morning in another way. We'll just say good morning, but we'll say something called Ayubowan, and we'll put our palms together. And Ayubowan means may you have a very long life.
Okay. Are you born?
Yeah.
Was that right?
Ayubowan. Yeah. Ayubowan. Yep.
Are you born?
Yep. You got it.
Amazing. And audience, the reason why I like to ask those questions and do those things is because if you ever travel to somewhere outside of your home base, you have a personal way to connect with someone, even though you may not necessarily know the full language. It just shows that you care enough to learn a little bit more about their culture, and they'll be more welcoming to you into their home and their country.
That is absolutely right.
Question two, what's your drink of choice? Coffee, tea, or something else?
I am a tea drinker. You probably have heard about Ceylon tea. So back in the day, Sri Lanka was called Ceylon, and tea is one of our biggest exports. And we grow some of the best teas in the world. So I am definitely a tea drinker.
Question four, if you could trade places with anyone in the world, who would it be?
I would say that that's a good question. I would say that I have so many names which comes to my mind, but I would say that I'll trade places with the surfer who's on Big Island in Hawaii.
Okay. So do you know how to surf?
I know a little bit how to surf, and that's something I really enjoy. So we don't, in Tampa Bay, we don't have, although we are very close to the sea, we don't have the waves. We have to go to the other side of the Florida, but Hawaii is one of my favorite places, and so that's why I said, the surfer in Hawaii.
Question 5, would you rather a dream car, dream home, or who says you can't have it all? Let's have both.
I think I have them both, so I'm okay. I'm okay.
So you currently have your dream car now.
I do have my dream car right now.
What is your dream car?
It's a Mercedes-Benz CLS, and I live in my dream house, which we built since 2020, and we were just able to finish up the house early in the year, and we built it exactly the way we want. The pool was designed exactly the way we want. It has the right amount of privacy, in a gated community, dual golf course community. Kids have a lot of friends to play with. When we have visitors, there's plenty of space. So we built the house exactly the way we want. So I'm pretty content there.
That is amazing, because I haven't had anyone come on yet that says I actually have both of them already.
All right.
You're the first. Question number 6. You get 3 random acts of kindness per day for you to do for someone else. What are your 3 for today?
So we talked about, with my partner, we talked about giving bonuses to our team, and I don't know whether this is random acts of kindness, but this is because we've seen our team really put in hard work, and because of that, we want to give bonuses, because we don't have a set bonus structure in place, but it's performance based. So we just before I got on a call with you, I talked with my partner, and we discussed about giving bonuses to our team members. And the one I actually remember from this morning is I was listening to a book, an audible book, while I was riding my bike, and I stopped halfway, and I texted my assistant, and I told her, hey, would you like to listen to this book? And I sent her a screenshot, and she said yes, and I'm gonna send her as a gift on Audible. And the third one is, my mom lives with us, and she also, obviously needs a lot of help, getting around and going to her friends' places and things like that. So this morning, I dropped her off to her friend's place. She could have walked there, but I just dropped her off because it was sunny, and so I said that let me just drop you off.
I love that. Question 7. Is there a particular person that you would like to have lunch or dinner with?
Yes, I would love to sit down with Elon Musk someday. We were just talking about it the other day too. So would love to sit down with him. I've heard that he couch surfs a lot. Go to his friends' places. I mean, one of the most wealthiest people on earth, couch surfs, right? So just imagine, like, if he asks you, hey, can I just crash at your place tonight? What are you gonna say?
Heck yeah.
Right? Right? You're not gonna say, no, Elon, you can't you can't crash in my couch. You're not gonna say that. You'll be like, yeah, of course, come on over. So people would spend, I don't know, 100,000 to have lunch with him, right? So if that's even a thing, but yeah, that would be amazing if I can do that.
Question 8. This was going to be a fun question. So you just found out that you won the lottery, right? And they tell you, AJ, in order to get the rest of the money released to you, you must contribute to 3 charities of your choice. What charities are you contributing to? And this is a big one because you're already in alignment with nonprofits.
Yeah, so the 3 charities, I think, will be Project Pop Drop, which serves 11,000 meals each month to folks here in Tampa Bay. And the second one will be Oldsmar Cares, who really does a lot to the community here in Oldsmar area, again in Tampa Bay. And the third one is the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce Education Foundation, which serves the educational needs of students in Tampa Bay and also awards scholarships. So I would definitely use that money to set up a scholarship fund. I obviously give scholarships out on a annual basis, but I would set up another scholarship fund to achieve a broad audience.
That's amazing. So we're on question 9. Keep me honest here, right?
Yeah.
So question 9, this is a fun one. Favorite color?
Favorite color?
Yes.
Oh, blue.
Awesome. And question 10, it's our pass or play question, AJ. So if you pass, our roles are reversed, and this is where you get to ask me a question. If you choose to play, I ask one last question to wrap up rapid fire. So do you want to pass or play?
Like to play.
Okay, last question. What is one piece of advice that you would give to a new parent? You had to think about that one, huh?
I had to think about it because can I change the question a little bit?
Sure.
I'm gonna ask the question in a different way. What's the one advice you would give to someone who is going to become a parent?
Okay, yeah.
Right? Sleep now.
Really?
Because you are not going to sleep for the next 18 years. You are not going to have much freedom to sleep. So sleep now. It's funny. We think about sleep as something which you can have any time at your convenience. But when you have a baby in the house, then sleep becomes premium. And then that's like the only thing you really want to do. And there's an actual advice which will come handy when you become a new parent, again related to sleep. There's when the baby is sleeping, you want to do everything else, right? No, when the baby is sleeping, you sleep too.
I love it. Thank you for that advice and playing rapid fire. Now we're going to jump into the main part of the segment, which is the work that you're doing, online marketing and SEO. And for those of you who aren't sure what SEO is, it stands for search engine optimization. And this is how you use certain keywords to make sure that your content is getting ranked and your content becomes visible to more people with you using the right keywords, the right strategies, and etc. So AJ, what led you to getting involved in this line of work?
So we started off 16 years ago as a website development company, and we were just cranking out websites. And 16 years ago in 2006, having a website was a luxury item. It was just something which you brag about. Hey, I got a brand new website, right? And you won't even work on it for the next 10 years. You just get it and it just sits there. It's not really doing anything. It's not getting you new business. It's something that you brag about with your friends, family, your peers, business associates, that type of thing. But now, when you have a website, since Google is basically bogged down with all kinds of different content, it really does not get your number out there just because you have a website. That's, your name is not going to be out there just because you have website. So you have to proactively push content towards Google for you to pop up in search engine rankings. When someone searches for a product or a service, then you show up, right? So we got reeled into it because we had that website development background, and that's how we got into the SEO world.
Perfect. So just by trade, is your background, are you a software engineer, or how did you get involved in website development and background? Because you mentioned early on during the rapid fire game that you and your partner. So can you talk about those dynamics there between the two? Because it's like you're pairing your zone of genius with your partner's zone of genius to create something amazing.
Yeah, so he is the real genius behind the scenes. Yes, we both have a software engineering background. We both graduated together from college back in Sri Lanka. And then we kind of like went our own ways, but then came together because we have worked together as well. We got requests to create websites for folks whom we knew, just, friends and family. So the first few websites, we just did it for fun. And then we realized, oh, we can actually get paid to do this. So that's how that epiphany, the realization came into play. And we play different roles within KallistoArt. Although we both have that software engineering background, I'm more of your sales guy, the marketing guy. And I soon realized I'm better at that rather than sitting behind a computer and coding away. So I got a MBA, majored in marketing from Wichita State, graduated back in 2009. And then I was, it was a progression, a natural progression for me to focus more on the sales and marketing role. And Ravi, my partner, is on more the technical piece. So he acts as the chief technical officer.
I like that because you take what you're good at and what you want to do and what he's good at, and you balance it and you bring them both together. So with sales and marketing, some people, they find that's the hardest thing, especially whenever they are transitioning. Maybe they're going from a corporate setting to the entrepreneurship, and they begin to work in their business versus on their business until it's time to scale. And they're wondering why they're not driving traffic, and it may be because they don't know who their ideal avatar is yet, or they're not properly and effectively marketing. So can you talk about the benefits of how do you market effectively in order to get seen and drive that high traffic?
Yeah, and you I think nailed it there, Genesis, because you need to realize who is your ideal avatar is, right? So realizing who your ideal avatar is big. So when someone comes to us, we ask some thought-provoking questions to pull that ideal avatar out and where that avatar is. And then we run some search engine tools to figure out what kind of searches, what kind of search volume is there for that ideal avatar, right? For an example, let's think about electrician, right? If I'm looking for an electrician in Tampa Bay, I can obviously go on Facebook and ask my friends, or I can just Google it. And a lot of people do this. They just, get on Google and they search for an electrician in Tampa Bay. So if you have positioned yourself in the eyes of Google as the top 10 result, or one of the top 10 results for that search string, then there's a good possibility that you will get a phone call from me because you are being seen to me, right? You are transparent to someone who's looking for the products or the services that you have to offer. But if you do not proactively work on that, you might be in the 100th position and no one's going to see you. And we actually have had clients in the past who were in the 100th position for their own name, which we have brought them to the #1 position. Took some time, but we were able to do it even in highly competitive industries like the legal industry for attorneys. So it's a process which has so many different angles to it. You have to work on-page text optimization. So you need to work on some keywords in your website. And this is the big one. A lot of people miss out on this. You have to work on your Google My Business profile. And Google My Business profile, anyone can get it for free. You go to just business.google.com, just get a Google My Business profile and start filling it up. And then
can I ask a question really quick there for the Google My Business? So do you actually need a brick and mortar business to do that? Or can you have an online business where you could use Google My Business? I just wanted to clarify that because I've heard different things around that.
That's a great question. So you don't have to have a brick and mortar business. You can actually use your own, if you don't mind using your own home address, you can use your home address. What I would say is don't use a PO box address. And because this question always stems from what address am I going to put in there? This is the #1 question we get asked from people who are trainers, who are consultants, who are basically operating out of their house. Okay, I'm going to get a Google My Business address, but I don't want to put my home address in there, right? So because of that, I would say go to your UPS store and you can get a mailing address, not a PO box address, but get a mailing address from the UPS store and you can use that. And then there are other services, if you look online, where you can get a mailing address out of one of those services. But UPS is one of those popular ones, but just don't get a PO box address because Google doesn't really like a PO box address.
Okay, perfect. And thank you for clarifying that because I know a lot of people are worried for security reasons and et cetera, because your home is your sanctuary and you just don't want some creep showing up at your home and you'll be like, it's because it's kind of scary in this day and age. So thank you for addressing that. And then you talked about some of your clients going from the 100th ranking to that top Google page. So how important is Google Analytics with that in order to drive them up to that first page where they actually have that visibility? Because from a consumer standpoint, there may be someone crazy who wants to go through all the Google pages, but normally someone really goes to the first and the second page, and you're lucky if they even go to the third page in Google. That means they're really determined to find something.
Yeah. If they don't find what they're looking for in the first page, then they will go to the second page. And third page is a real stretch. Google Analytics is very important because so what we do is numbers driven, right? When you have Google Analytics, you know that what's your current ranking, and then that's your baseline, and then you can set a certain timeline. Maybe within 3 to 6 months you want to improve your position, right? And so Google Analytics give you the transparency on your improvement. And then when it comes to search engine optimization, you find keywords which have the highest search volume. So you can run this search in Google using a tool to see which have the highest search volume and the lowest competition. You find some keywords which have a very high search volume and not so high competition, because if you are running after the keywords that are very high in search volume and at the same time very high in competition, then you might be spinning wheels and you won't see the results which you are after. So once you nail down your keywords, then you start pushing them out to Google in terms of content in your website. And we also create something called ghost SEO pages. So these are pages which sits behind the website. And when people are searching for an example, electrician in Tampa Bay, if I'm an electrician, then I have keyword stuffed pages behind my website pages, which people see. So those pages will pop up in those search inquiries. So they look like they are part of the website when there's no real way of getting to those pages from the main menu navigation. So that's like, a little bit of secret sauce there. So you create those pages and then you tie everything back into your Google My Business profile and also do Google posts. Just like you post on Facebook, you can post in Google. A lot of people don't know about it and it's free, right? So you don't have to run ads. I'm not talking about running ads or spending money on Google. These are everything free, which you can do by yourself, or you hire someone who's good at it and they can do this for you. And that way you are slowly but steadily pushing your rankings up, and you can see all of this from Google Analytics. Now, the thing about Google Analytics is they basically throw out a lot of data. If you start looking at Google Analytics, you are going to be very overwhelmed because there's going to be so much data in there. So I would say use a tool like SEMrush, BrightLocal, Agency Analytics, any tool like that where you can plug your Google My Business profile to that tool, and then that tool will give you the most important information for your Google My Business page, which is your impressions, the number of calls that were generated, how many people visited your website, and how many people requested directions to your place of business. So when you have that, that really gives you a good idea about the work someone is doing, or if you're doing it yourself, the work you're doing, whether it's working or not. How many impressions am I getting? How many of the total impressions, what's the percentage of that is through discovery, meaning someone looking for a keyword like electrician in Tampa Bay rather than looking for AJ electrician,
Yeah, I
right?
think,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
and that's a really good point there, AJ, because then it's also a way for you to do inventory of what you're putting out there and benchmark. So it's a way for you to gather your KPIs based on how you are performing with marketing and etc. And I know we're running up against our time commitment, so I want to jump into the CTA part of the segment, and we're definitely going to have a part 2 with you, AJ, because you're a wealth of knowledge. So for your call to action today for the audience, what information would you like to share with them? Do you have a challenge or a homework project you want them to go do, especially for those business owners or those who are thinking about starting something, so they could actually take the knowledge that they heard here and actually apply it? Because what good is getting information if you're not going to apply it and use it?
Absolutely. So what I have for our listeners here today, Genesis, is a free gift. Please go to KallistoArt.com/free gift, and that is spelled as KallistoArt.com/free-gift. So if you go to just KallistoArt.com, you'll see the free gift tab at the top right corner. So click on that and you'll be able to download a white paper where you can learn more about search engine optimization, what's Google's role in there, and what are keywords and how to select them, and there's a lot of other considerations as well, and it's completely free, so feel free to grab that. And if you'd like to connect with me, please go to aja360.com. Again, that's aja360.com. You'll see a button called contact, and scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll be able to save my contact in there as well, and connect. All my social media accounts are there, so you'll be able to connect with me through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. So I look forward to connecting with everyone.
That is amazing. And I love that you have everything in one centralized place, so it's easy for them to remember. And audience, I'm going to do you one better. All of this info will be in the show notes, so there's no excuse for you not to get in touch with AJ. All you need to do is read the show notes, scroll down, and tap in with AJ. Make sure you like, comment, follow, and subscribe. We're on 40 plus audio platforms, and you could also see this video on our YouTube channel by going to GEMS, GEMS, with Genesis Amaris Kemp. And lastly, but not least, where would I be without my supporters? You know I only think about you. Because of you, we're now ranked in the top 2% globally out of 2.8 million podcasts per the metrics on www.listennotes.com. And we are a community here to support each other. So I thank you for taking time out of your day to support the subject matter experts that come onto the show, as well as the mission to bring content that is educational, inspirational, or motivational, while we also weave in DEI&B, which is diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, because it does take all of us coming together to really create effective synergies. So until the next guest, next segment, I would love to ask for brand sponsors. It is paid sponsorship, and you can find more info by sending me an email to genesisamarisKemp@gmail.com or heading on over to my website, genesisamarisKemp.net. Until then, peace, love, and lots of blessings. Have yourself an amazing day, and I challenge you to learn more about SEO. Go see how you're ranked and Google yourself so you can see, am I on that first page, or do I need to do some work in order to bump myself up?